Oh my God, guys. It's like a scene out of The Exorcist.
What the hell is that?
What?
What?
What is that?
That's
oh
okay,
my
that's...
God!
If there's anything in here, please go away.
No!
It would be nice to catch something on camera, but I really don't want to do this. And I'm not happy about doing it. One bit.
Well, divas, as you're calling them, is elemental ghost, which is a ghost that's never allegedly lived as a human being. It's created by negative situations, murders, unpleasant thoughts, and it just sort of creates a feeling of negativity, and that takes on an intelligence. That's the theory.
All you have to do, don't be, panic or anything like that.
It's easy for you to say.
I know, but...
I can hear footsteps.
She said it felt like here, as if there was a cat going...
Who's that? Who just did that with the coin?
I heard it.
Seriously?
Was that not you?
Yeah.
No.
I can't stand it anymore. I'm sorry, I've got to go. I can't. I know I'm being a complete wuss. I'm just too scared to move now. I've got to make it to the door.
Hello then everyone and welcome to the video. My name's Serenity Solo the Axe and I know I'm zoomed out quite a bit today. That's because I'm having problems with my camera, so if anything goes wrong on any of these episodes lately, that's why. So we are here with Most Haunted and episode 6. I do want to make these fortnightly at some point, possibly next year when multi-days start. I'm hoping to get them done ASAP. So this will move to Sundays and will hopefully go fortnightly once they do. You'll be getting these episodes and the best of lives for most of them. My elite members will be getting the full lives if I can find them, and they will all be reactions. So, they'll also be getting the elite members will also be getting the Most Haunted extras as well when they start. So if you're enjoying these shows, could I please ask for a like, comment and subscribe? I would gratefully appreciate it. Also, if you can follow on Daily Motion, I would appreciate that too. Thank you to everyone who has so far. I love you to bits. And to my Patreon members, it is you that is bringing the content to me to allow me to bring the content straight back to you. Thank you all ever so much. I appreciate every single one of you, and you have a special place in my heart, honestly. So with that, I won't sign out. We shall get on with the video.
I didn't know that spirits could physically harm you.
It's a well.
I've got to make it to the door.
Stone circles, poltergeists and fear. Avebury, is it haunted?
I believe in ghosts.
Oh God, he does. So someone's going to get hurt. Oh, that'd be nice to put in the intro. Always thinking.
Hello and welcome to Most Haunted. Now, the village in Avebury is one of the most paranormal places in Great Britain. It's surrounded by these amazing stones, and it's said that it's haunted by an old druid priest.
Do you want to be meeting a ghostly priest?
These
really?
stones are
A
over
druid
4,000 years old. They weigh over 40 tons, and similar to other stone circles, no one really knows what they were put there for. The village of Avebury itself sits inside the centre of the circles. Now, one of the buildings here, the Red Lion pub, is supposed to be terribly haunted. The Red Lion pub dates back to 1802, but the actual building goes as far back as the 1600s. There are supposed to be 4 ghosts here, one of which is Florrie, who was killed during the Civil War, supposedly by her jealous husband.
Did they always have this music on?
One presenter, a psychic, a parapsychologist, and a very brave film crew are spending 24 hours to uncover the mysteries of Avebury. Now, to help us get through the night, we've got our usual fearless, faithful crew. We've got the very handsome Mark on camera.
Hi, Mark.
The very gorgeous, sexy Martin on sound.
Hi, Martin.
The rest of the crew, give us a wave.
They don't
They're very
credit a
quiet
name.
today, aren't they? Now, we've also enlisted our usual experts to get us through the night also.
Jason and Derek, who's been driven around the
covering 2
countryside.
locations, the stones themselves and also the Red Lion pub. So,
Petrol.
how are you going to try and catch any paranormal activity here?
Well, we're going to use a couple of different things, as we always do. Today, in particular, one of the things I'd like to do, because the circle of stones is sort of very important paranormally to a lot of people, to sort of join in with that theme, if you like, we're going to do an experiment of movement of objects, because there's been some poltergeist activity reported in the pub. So I'm going to place coins around the well in the pub and see if they move. I'm also going to use, both inside and outside, one of the EMF detectors that we've used in the past. This one is particularly calibrated for use outside, so if we pick anything up at all on this, we'll know straight away it's not due to any natural electricity lines or any
Underground
plugs,
cables?
etc., that we sometimes get inside. So we'll be using that.
Do we have those?
Perhaps not quite so scientific on the end as well. We're going to use
Cooking, are we?
some cooking flour, yeah. Now, in the past, what we've done is sprinkle this, a very light dusting over sort of surfaces of tables, chairs, etc.,
Not on
where
this show.
paranormal events have happened. Leave the room for a while or the area, come back, and sometimes you find that there are markings in the flour which can't have been made naturally. We've caught handprints, etc., with this in the past. So we're going to do that in the restaurant area of the Red Lion pub, where a lot of poltergeist activity with movements of chandeliers has been experienced.
In the 3 years that I've been manager here, there's been some very bizarre goings on. Starting from the day that we moved in, and I thought, what have we done?
Well, apparently, during the Civil War of about 1643, Florrie's husband went away to the wars, and while he was away, she became unfaithful to him. And when he came home...
Please don't be unfaithful.
He found out, and in a fit of rage, he strangled her. And the story has it that he deposited her body down the well, which of course wasn't in the pub then, it was outside. It was the village well.
Only Timmy's allowed down the well.
And that's the story. But when we put a diver down, we fixed up a gantry over the well and put a diver down. When he got down to the bottom into the water, which was about 85 to 90 feet, there was a great big boulder down there and he couldn't get past it. So we still don't know whether poor old Florrie's down there or not.
Can we break up of that boulder,
doesn't like men with
please?
beards, allegedly. And we had a guy in the restaurant who was slating, you know, it's all rubbish, it's all rubbish. And the chandelier just started spinning over the top of him. And he left hastily after that.
There was, for instance, a hunting horn used to be up over the top of the bar
Flintstones.
there. That flew off and came hurtling into the bar. One of the barmen here, he used to shave just round here because he got a beard, you see. And the glass flew off the wall and hit him straight in the face.
Ow!
I heard all the stories, you know,
That's
about
assault.
the ghost
Ghost.
called Florrie. But I kept on getting her name wrong one night. I kept on calling her Floey. So all the restaurant lights just tripped out, and there's 3 trip switches that do the restaurant. All of them had gone apart from the one bulb that was
Florrie's
still
not
left
a
on.
name.
And
Florrie,
I
yeah.
just couldn't
For
understand
Florence, but
how this
Florrie.
one bulb was on, but all the trips were out.
Oh yes, this place is definitely haunted, inasmuch that the number of people have come in here and know there's something. I took one lady up to, she said it's upstairs, I think. Took her up and we went round the different rooms. She walked into one room and she said, "This is it." She said, "The feeling is there straight away." She said, "There's something or somebody in here now." I said, "Well, I can't see them." So she said, "No, you won't."
The stereo in the mornings, the last thing I do is turn it off at night, come down to where we're sitting now, and it just started playing automatically. And it's a CD player, so it can't just trigger itself off.
I'm sure Florrie's haunting the Red Lion because, I don't know, it's one of those things that you've got a feeling for. And in a way, I love her.
I do hope
Most
some
haunted room
titles
is
come on
definitely the
later.
private room. People tend not to
In the
try and
series.
stay in there if possible, if they've stayed here before. And if people do stay there, it's icy cold, even though there's heating. I dare any member of your crew to stay in the private room alone.
You'd be surprised the number of people that come in here, and this is perfectly true, I'm not pulling your leg, and say, "Is there something about this place?" And I say, spiritually, or, you know, yeah, there's a feeling about it.
Well, tonight, I think possibly quite a few things will happen. We're
You don't
obviously
work
surrounded
there.
with spirits here, and the ghost of Florrie is somewhat a sort of local phantom celebrity, if you like. With there being so much alcohol around, I'm a little bit dubious as to whether that will perhaps interact with some of the experiences here. We're trying to keep that not the case, but who knows? We'll see later on.
Just don't
The
drink
three
alcohol.
circles of stone at Avebury do have an enormous sort of paranormal significance to a lot of people here. That does mean that people have sort of auto-expectation or auto-suggestion of what may happen to them. The ghost stories associated with the stones aren't perhaps what you would expect. You'd probably expect things like pagan rituals and ceremonies sort of reenacting themselves. That isn't quite the case. I'll be interested to see if people do pick up on the more subtle ghost stories associated with the stones themselves.
So they're going to go out to those stones in the pitch black dark. Is that safe? Health and safety team. I'm spitting all over.
This is the main dining room area where apparently a lot of poltergeist activity occurs. Bangs upstairs, things moving are often heard, and things down here, objects, are moved around mysteriously. But I suppose the main bit of activity here would be in this bay area, and the chandelier likes to move on its own.
I suppose you could twirl that round yourself, though.
Up these
It's quite low.
stairs are two of the most haunted rooms in the whole of the Red Lion pub.
Don't tell us what rooms. Well, what
This
numbers.
room is what's known as the private room, and there are supposed to be 3 ghosts here. There is a lady called Beth who sits and writes a letter on the table in the corner, and then there are 2 children that are supposed to be cowering in the corner. The general feel of this room by many of the guests is a feeling of horrible oppression, not very nice, quite a sad feeling really, and many people have asked to leave. It just feels very cold to me, that's all. Oh well, we'll see later.
I stayed there for a week.
This is known as the Avenue Room. There are supposed to be 2 ghosts in here, one male and one female, though nobody knows who they are.
Have they done anything?
With everything set up for the night shoot and Derek Gacora's prompt arrival, we could afford a little
No,
time to
it's
relax
been
and
driving
enjoy our
around for a
dinner
while.
before the long night ahead.
Jason, is it at all possible that buildings or places like this Avebury with all the stone stuff actually hold memories?
Well, it's one of the sort
asked
of
to say
standard
that.
theories that's put forward to
I've got
explain
wires to
ghosts,
these.
and that is where, if you can imagine a recording tape that records sound magnetically, stones that sort of buildings are made of have magnetic sort of properties in them, and it's believed that the stones themselves act as a recording device and actually play back things that have happened in them, sort of events, emotions, and maybe even scenes from the past.
Derek, why is it that some ghosts seem to hang around that they've obviously been here for thousands or years? Why do we still see them? Don't they want to sort of disappear and go off into heaven, as it were?
Well, to a larger degree, Yvette, it is
Visitation?
exactly that. I mean, they have got their opportunities and choices, okay, to seek a way to leave the atmosphere. However, a lot of them, as I understand it, do stay around for a long time, but it's the residual energy that's still left, i.e., the property, the fabric, or what have you, that they once dwelt and experienced life and their life's experiences.
Okay. Now, this is the dining room, as we know. Are you picking anything up here at all, Derek?
But she's got a very creepy coat on.
Yes, I'm very aware of
Thanks, Yvette.
quite a strong presence of a lady. My attention was drawn to the lady, and for some reason, on the psychic levels, would you believe it, Yvette, I'm drawn to the manager.
Our manager?
Yeah, thank you.
There he is.
Did he just
Richard,
get pushed
it's
in?
very interesting because it's in no way is it meant to alarm you, but this lady it really isn't, honestly. Yeah. This lady seems to be following you around at times, and I feel psychically that she's trying to make me aware that you are at times aware of movement, and she is so strong, and she draws. And there's no harm to you. She draws off your energy. She likes you. It's like attracting like. Is that the name, Sam? Florence. Florence.
Or flowy.
Florence. OK, thank you. I'm just trying to, as it's coming through, I've got something
Oh, they cut that off
it's a
sharpish.
link, and a man's voice says, "To the great name of Arthur." I got this 3 times.
You can't read it.
3
pause it.
times earlier. And there's great links with something to do with great Arthur. King, thank you. King Edgar.
Oh,
King
thank you,
Edgar.
Arthur.
The woman's voice says to me, "I'm King Edgar's wife. I belonged originally here.
Blimey, that's
This belongs to me.
Who's King Edgar?
Where is my husband? Where is King Edgar?" She says.
Did we have a
Bless
King
you.
Edgar?
She walks around still looking for this soul.
What, Jason?
So this is the King Edgar. The connection with the woman's King Edgar in the 900s or 1000s is Florence,
I take it must be
and that was
Florence.
King Edgar's wife.
Well, this is what I've just been given.
Okay.
I'm just trying to, as it's
Yeah.
coming through.
Do you want to have
pinpoint
a
that.
walk through and see where we go?
Yeah. Also, a little boy. I'm
Right,
aware
in.
of a little boy here.
Not King Edgar,
Are
please.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow, he runs round and he's so excited at times, he's like a whirling dervish. Zoom! And he goes through at speed. And if he goes so fast, he goes past and people go, "Oh, what was that?"
Does that happen?
Yeah, that is true, yeah.
He's lovely. He's a cute boy. He had his life taken from him.
Here?
Taken away, yes, here.
Really?
Yes. There was
Did they give an age?
got this before. There was ritual killings on this site.
Is that how it happened? Is
What
this why
kind
the
of
kids are
ritual killings?
cowering?
Sacrifice.
Of people.
Yep.
For what purpose?
Children.
Children.
Children?
Sacrifice.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
What? Why?
Maids as well, young maids. Young maids.
There you
who
go.
had
Steady with the
children.
children bit, please.
Who was sacrificing them and for what purpose?
People that were, a woman's voice said, "This was before the smugglers." Oh. Is the tunnels with the smugglers?
That was not my tummy.
Okay. There's tunnels at this property.
Do you know of tunnels?
I know of one, yeah.
Is it connected to smuggling?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I know it's all been blocked up now.
It's broken. The tunnel's broken.
Well, it's just said it's blocked up.
There's been 2 foundations originally from the tunneling. One to something that's quite close, that is can be seen by the eye. And before that, a redirection of tunnel to something that's 6 or 7 miles away.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know what would be 6 or 7
You see,
miles
someone
away.
from Spirit has come into this room.
They have?
Want to come into this room here now. Someone wants to wave. That seems to be like the symbol to me of a person that was either practicing in his time, practicing as a magician, because I get all the symbols of the thought patterns coming in similar to what a magician.
How far back is this?
I feel this is, this is probably going back to between 10 and 11 of the hundreds.
Oh.
And he was,
Say out of any
he
year.
was something to be reckoned with, in the essence that
Mid-decade?
he had control
Well, century.
over people's, or he gave the impression that he could control people's thoughts. And he goes back very strongly to the basis of Avebury. Very strong.
There's wind blowing down the chimney.
It's not a ghost.
Someone's just said to me, there's a so-called legend. Sam's laughing about this. I hope I can share this with you. Sam says there is a so-called legend that has it been written and been passed through and down to say that is it Merlin? Merlin, thank you. That Merlin is close by. That is not so. That is not so.
Is that true? Is there a legend to say that?
Well,
Merlin's quite close
Merlin
by.
is, the legend of Merlin is connected to Glastonbury, which isn't far away.
He's. Sam says he is not in any way buried behind that stone.
Here?
Something to know, not here,
No, yeah.
but something. It's a structure and he's not there.
Right.
Legend has it that he's there. Legend also has it that he's in...
Legend also has it that he didn't exist at all. And
Yes.
He's a legend in himself.
Yes. Can I just say what Spirit said? There was no existence of this soul. He's not on any spiritual log or agenda.
Isn't that what Jason
so he
just
didn't
said?
exist.
He's not on the spiritual register.
No.
Let's move on.
Okay.
So we have a census.
Oh, God.
Oh, now I know all
With
about
me.
Merlin.
Oh, no.
Come on.
God.
Do you want to go in there?
Yes.
Just wait there. Oh,
So look, these bedrooms are active, you see.
Why did they need to turn the light on? It was light enough.
Now, coming in here now, I get this very young,
That's already jumping.
not as young as the little boy, but a very young girl, her essence comes here. I feel with her as well, you know, because of the view and her age, the word virgin comes to mind with me. Of the, virginal
Don't speak of young
child,
girls and
which was
virgins,
like,
Derek,
to them,
please.
I feel must have been a supreme thing. Now, where the boy's concerned, it's a different matter altogether. Why he would be sacrificed? Maybe the feelings that come through is that he couldn't be of much use because he wasn't strong or whatever, and he was no use to at that time. A totally different reflection to the girl. And also I feel also that they would have come from families that would not have, if I may use that word, batted an eyelid if a child was to be lost. So it wasn't as if they were just taken away from a noble family who would miss the children and what have you. As if it was, I suppose, the feeling I get in saying is like to a penny, you know, you just, it's nothing.
Do you want to move from here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What horrible parents.
Yeah, well, that's what I get.
Why do they call a room the Avenue?
This place here is, at times, very active, but I feel that these souls here can be, there's more kindredness
Why did
to
you put
them.
it to the clock?
Also, can I just say, because I was very aware, and I'm drawn now out to the front because, you see, I saw, firstly, a carriage with 4 horses, and I
The
heard
apocalypse.
the clipping of the hooves and the carriage being drawn up and what have you. And then another carriage. There seems to be 2 carriages. But outside, I feel that these carriages, at some time or other, have been heard, experienced.
Well, we'll go outside and wrap up warm. Okay. Shall we go downstairs?
Yes.
I don't know what seasons these
Before
were
we
made in.
ventured outside, Jason set up the flower experiment. It was
Oh,
pitch
fine.
black, freezing cold and very windy. We were determined to walk around the stones and maybe find out from Derek their purpose.
Oh, it's so eerie. Look at those
Yeah.
stones.
It seems as if as we're coming in to this, the middle of this group of stones, as if I'm hearing repeatedly a chanting. It seems as if I've got a circle of women and I've got a circle of men that are separate. And the men
Sam never
seem
told
to
me
be...
about that. Stone, I mean, on the floor.
To me, it's like, you know, where when a person chants a mantra.
What's the purpose of the chant, do you think? Why are you hearing this? Is it...
I feel, in actual fact, as we've got the conditions now, which are dreadful, aren't they?
Yep.
You know, early hours of the morning, it seems as if they're chanting, and it seems to be in encouragement of the elements. You know, it's like as if the ladies are looking up and are so happy to see the sun, because, you know, it changes here to complete clear blue skies. And I
So
feel
some
it's
form
the
of-
elements,
Some
yeah.
form of nature worship of the sun god. Then,
Yeah,
or for want of a better
of
word.
nature, yeah.
Okay.
And it seems very, very, very strong. And again, this is residual. This is not active.
Okay.
It's residual going back in feeling. I'm not in any way at this point aware. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but I'm not aware of an individual spirit active in this section at all.
What the hell is that?
What?
What?
What is that?
That's okay.
Oh my
that's,
God, what
that's
is
okay. That's all right. There's
They're two people.
Two people.
They're not spirits.
Yes. They did look. You did look for a
Well, I
moment.
had a hood on and I thought, oh my
It's
God.
the druid priests come to haunt us.
Oh.
There's some really large megaliths over in that way,
Never
Derek. Should we
wondered
move
why
over
the
there
hell
and see
Yes.
if we
fucking
can
signing
pick
up
up
torches
there?
on
Yeah.
them.
Okay, move very slowly, everybody.
Hey. This wind is fierce, isn't it?
Oh.
These stones.
Might be pagans.
My psychic feelings leading as I come very close to them seems to me to be like symbolising a gateway of thought, a gateway. And even though there's three, this being virtually to the middle of the two outer stones, seems to be the lead stone.
Well, it's actually part of an enormous ring. There's not.
Yes.
There's 98. There's
Yes.
actually 98 of the stones.
But this is the gateway, the three. And it's got something to do with a belief of something to do with a trilogy.
That's Stonehenge.
That might make sense actually with one of the
Someone
theories
else?
of why the stones are here, because pagan sort of beliefs dictate that part of their faith is the goddess. It's a triple goddess, maiden, mother, and crony, which sort of links in with what you're saying about trilogy. So
Calling a goddess
The
a
trilogy
clone.
is very
makes
strong
sense.
here, Jason.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Some way to get
See if we get anything on the
smited, smoked, whichever.
See, they're not playing up for us, are they?
Well, there should be absolutely no electromagnetic energy
Yes.
at all here. So
Yes.
even like a tiny fluctuation would indicate something unusual.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel that a particular man chanted his own physical mantra before these all joined in, all the followers. He would do this on 3 different occasions within given 24 hours. There were set times. That's it. Thank you, Sam. The trilogy of 3. We set our clock from the 3.
What you're sort of saying there is that this is some kind of timepiece. And that's the theory with Stonehenge, which is near here, isn't far away, another stone circle. But there are actually 3 stone circles in Avebury. I mean, this gives you the impression there's one, but there are 3. We are in one of the 3 stone circles.
Okay, well, fine, that's good. Now, that would also help me with this, where I've just been... If there are 3, and it links in with the trilogy of 3, you're going to have, again, with the 3, the main stone. So there would be 3... As you've said, 3 stone circles. So there would be 3 of the likes of the level of this man heading the 3 circles of stones.
At exactly the same time.
At exactly the same time to bring in the power and what have you.
I see.
And you know the moon. Thank you. Sorry, Ivy. The moon. The moon has got a lot to play, not the sun. The moon has got a lot to do with the 3.
Well, it has, because in pagan belief, the sun and the moon are like opposites. The moon represents the feminine, the sun represents the masculine. And
Yes.
the two together, the duality of the two, is very much part of pagan belief, which is intrinsically linked with sites like Avebury and Stonehenge. So it does link in that they would have been perhaps worshipping the moon, if you like, or worshipping the sun, or an amalgamation of the pair.
So was Derek's theory of the stones being a timepiece correct? It's unlikely the truth will ever be fully uncovered. But the weather was getting worse, so it was back to the Red Lion
Unless
to
time
continue
travel
our
becomes a reality.
investigation.
I don't believe it
Yes.
can, but if it does.
Jason, Sam was saying to me a little bit earlier on to readdress something because it's most important. And I said, of course, Sam, of course. And he said, you talked about Florence. And I said, yes. And then suddenly he takes me and, you know, I seem to just be taken backwards and falling and falling and falling and falling. And I seem to be at the bottom of something and I can't get out. And I feel here, is it this area? It's a well. So Florence is linked with the well or something to do with the well? Can you find out about something to do with the well?
There is a story connected
I hurt my eyes reading that.
Being thrown down a well, but it's not in this area.
Right. Can I say to you, the link's up here with a well, and you will find the connection and the link with Florence. Florence is not the wife, okay, as we talked about earlier, of Edgar. Florence is in the well. Florence went down the well.
Why did she go down the well?
She was killed.
Why?
She went for a swim.
She certainly didn't fall down. She was thrown down.
Who threw her?
I get the impression of 3 men. 3 men.
Derek's spirit guide Sam did not give us any further information about Florrie and the well.
Thanks, Sam.
We moved to the upper story of the inn where the crew voted for me to spend time in the heavily haunted private room. I had to face whatever terrors it might hold alone.
Getting very brave. I'm that flipping stupid.
She's going to stay brave.
Right, now look, just as a little tip, a helpful tip. Even when you go into the bedroom and you sit there in the quiet, okay, which you will, like we all will, if you start to feel any little sensations coming across your forehead, down underneath, like tingling sensations,
you just want to
under
brush
your
your face,
eyes, or even to the top of your head, or even to the base of your neck, all you have to do, don't be, panic or anything like that. No,
it's easy for you to say.
I know, but honestly, it's they're not here to hurt or anything. But I just feel that may happen. It may happen in other places. But if it does, just say bless you. You're most welcome, and that gives that individual that reassurance. Okay, that you're not going to be scared. They don't want you to be scared.
Is she going to say that, or is she going to run out?
Honestly, However, if I think it's quite lovely actually. If you've got your hands out with that and you feel anything of warm sensation or tinkle in your hand, the person's actually holding your hand. That's lovely.
Right, don't tell me more. Don't tell me more. Don't tell me more. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Okay.
Right then, shall we go?
Just relax.
I can't relax. Okay. I am petrified. I just want to keep looking at the camera because I don't want to look around anywhere else in case I see something. I cannot last an hour like this. What the hell was that?
Just lay down and go to sleep.
And the wind outside is blowing. And it's casting shadows over.
And that camera quality sounds awful.
Oh God.
I apologise. That's what you're there for.
If there's anything in here, please go away.
No!
It would be nice to catch something on camera, but I really don't want to do this. And I'm not happy about doing it. One bit. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit of tickling on the top of my head.
That's probably because she's expecting it.
Okay, it's gone now.
Poor
I
Yvette.
can't stand anymore. Oh God, that wind outside.
I feel really sorry for her.
It's still tickling on the top of my head.
Now, whether it's actually happening or not, if it's just in her mind, she's petrified, bless her.
I know you all think, oh God, it's again on top of my head. I can't stand it anymore. I'm sorry, I've got to go. I can't. I know I'm being a complete wuss. I'm just too scared to move now. I've got to make it to the door. Oh, Jesus. Get me out.
How long did she last? 2 minutes?
Come on.
While I was alone and terrified in the private room, next door, Jason had embarked on an experience that even he had not bargained for.
Right, that's me alone in the Avenue room.
Is that not just next door to
I wish I
her?
was scared, but I'm not. So we'll see if anything happens.
So that closing door noise could have been him going
That's
in
the
there.
room. It's now nearly 6 o'clock in the morning. And I have once again failed to be scared so far. Luckily, I've got a room with a bed, which is nice. Bit of luxury.
Good night, Jason.
I can hear footsteps outside here, but I think that's Yvette going into the room next door.
Oh.
Because she's just through here. I don't think she'll last very long. She'll kill me for saying that.
Optimism, Jason. Support.
Come on, orbs. Let's have an orb go past my face.
No, we don't want orbs.
Actually, I'm going to take some DV of the room because you never know.
What a ghost.
You might catch something. If there's anything here...
No, that's the light reflecting.
Oh, that's just reflection. I
Thank
thought I had
you.
one for a sec there. If there is anything here that wishes to make its presence felt to me, as a complete skeptic at the moment...
Don't film the light.
Then if you can create some phenomena on the screen or move across the room, such as what is termed an orb...
Saw something.
Thank you very much. There was one straight away, I think. Can you show me that again, if you're in the room? Where did you go? Yes. Are you around me? Yes. I could see you. Where are you?
Ask him to show himself in a big mist with a human
Yes, I just
shape.
saw you go up the bed. Wow. Straight at me. And across the back to the bed. Oh my God, guys. It's like a scene out of The Exorcist.
No, it isn't.
Actually, my heart...
I'm not a fan
Oh
of
my
orbs.
God. I'm starting to get heartburn, actually, which isn't like me. It's not down to Max's cooking. It's probably down to the fact that this is a slightly unusual occurrence happening. It's certainly something I can't explain with these orbs across the bed. If you're here and you want to communicate with me, can I see you across the bed again? You still around me? Who are you?
Yes, camera keeps losing focus.
Now, what these orbs are, we don't really know, but we do know that you only catch them at haunted places. You
Or
can't see
dusty
them by the human
places.
eye very often. It has happened, but it's rare. They do appear on camera pictures, such as digital pictures or single lens reflex pictures, and they also appear on video, which is the most common way of catching them. No one knows what they are, but they're unexplainable. Whether they're connected to ghosts or not, we don't know, but they do appear in haunted places, so it's logical to perhaps make that association at the moment.
I thought something bigger was going to happen. When she says...
I
Oh, yeah,
have
that's
to
it.
say, despite my
he
hard
saw
outer
something.
shell, I am slightly spooked.
Can you capture the kids? Or the woman?
It was just on the bed there, I saw it. This is weird. Oh my God! Shit!
Hey, but Jason!
Shit.
Jason!
Fuck! It's coming towards me.
Jason!
So even Jason, the most sceptical member of our crew, had given in and fled the room.
Not very sceptic. He ran away from an orb.
This was the strange moving object that sent him running. Is this an orb or simply a speck of dust?
Wow.
When our producer Karl went back into the room to retrieve a camera, 2 scratch marks appeared on the back of his neck for no reason.
I just went into the room where we were, the private room. I went to take the camera down. I thought, no, I'll actually take the plug out first. and I leant down to pull the plug.
Has it got nails?
And
Has it been
just
scratched
as I
in
pulled
it?
the plug out, I just this sharp pain in the back of my neck.
Right from the word go. I mean, that area up there, the hallway, the 2 bedrooms and what have you, they were, at the beginning, when we first walked in, very active.
I think it's important to remember that there's very little evidence of ghosts hurting people physically, but it isn't unknown.
But this feels like to me as if there's been a little bit of diva activity.
Well, divas, as you're calling them, is elemental ghost, which is a ghost that's never allegedly lived as a human being. It's created by negative situations, murders, unpleasant thoughts, and it just sort of creates a feeling of negativity, and that takes on an intelligence. That's the theory.
We couldn't let this go. We had to go back into the room to find out who or what had caused the scratches on Karl's neck.
When she said somebody got hurt, I thought she meant more than scratches.
It was just here. The locked off camera was up here, and I leant down to this plug here to unplug it, and that's when I got scratched.
You. God, it's cold in here, isn't it?
Yeah. Come on, you son of a gun. Let's
I thought you were going to say
show
it then.
yourself. Come on. Let's see how much spine you've got. Very well as scratching.
Should it really be antagonising?
Come on. Prove your ability. Show your strengths. I feel you're weak. Come on. If I hold my hands out, scratch my hands. You're most welcome. Let's see you do it.
Can you imagine if you just lost like 4 fingers?
I didn't know that spirits could physically harm you. I mean, to show marks on you.
I couldn't say whether they gain any, like, satisfaction, pleasure, whatever, because I don't understand them enough. But many years ago, there was a lady come to see me when I was doing private sessions and what have you, private readings. And that poor woman, over a period of time, she was getting scratched, they were healing and getting scratched. And she said she woke up one evening and she said she swore at that moment in time when she got scratched and what have you, she said it felt like her as if there was a cat going.
Who's that? Who just did that with the coin?
I heard it. I heard
Seriously?
it.
Was that not you?
Yeah.
No.
Jason's freaking out more than Yvette now.
My hands are in my pockets as well.
I heard something.
I heard it. It was like a.
It was like a
Listen, it was like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a chink. I didn't feel anything.
Come on,
I
it's
thought
not
it
made
was
out of
behind me.
metal.
And then I thought it was you. And what we can definitely say is that there are lots of unexplained things that are happening around us here.
Yes.
And they're not due to us being tired.
No.
So that would be paranormal.
Oh,
It will be unexplainable.
That's...
Isn't that what paranormal is though? Something
I'm
you cannot
scared.
explain.
That don't happen often.
I'm just keeping very quiet, which is unusual for me.
Oh,
What?
something just came up.
Well, what an all.
If that's what it was.
So had we caught one of the first stages of a ghost
It looks
manifestation
like
on camera?
something's flapping like
Was this
wings.
odd moving light another encounter with an orb? After close inspection of the tape, we cannot offer any other explanation. So it had been a long and eventful night, and even though Jason's 2 experiments involving the flower and the coin showed no result, the scratches on Karl and the strange object moving on its own were enough evidence to suggest that the Red Line in Avebury could very well be haunted.
Well, you better clean it up, that flower. So is this the orb series? Hope we get more than orbs. No spoilers in the chat, please.
That was one of the best experiences that I've had to date. Purely and simply because of the activity in the different areas of the building, both higher level and lower level, at different times during the investigation.
Well, this has certainly been one of the most unusual investigations that I've ever taken part in.
There was the orbs that seemed to be linking with different members of the team.
Yvette's reactions to the experiences of the evening were, I think, due to mass hysteria. We've had that before, and she gets scared very, very easily.
Yvette, yes, naturally she was a little bit, to say the least, petrified over certain incidents that actually did take place. My heart went out a lot to Yvette.
But what I think is the most memorable part of the evening was when Karl came down from taking off a secured camera and 2 scratches appeared on his neck. Now, these were fresh scratches, you could see. They were red, they were like open wounds almost. They were pretty horrific to look at and quite scary. And that sort of made me think about the whole thing in a different light, because it suddenly becomes something not so much as a game and fun, but something that's perhaps potentially dangerous in some way, and that did concern me.
Well, we've come to the end of our 24 hours, and I have to say Derek was very accurate on quite a lot of things. Jason, our parapsychologist, was spooked. And me spending that time alone in that room, I will never, ever forget. I've never been so frightened. How long did she last, though? 2 minutes? And I think, well, will we ever understand what went on here in Avebury? I don't know. Anyway, we shall see you at our next location. Until then, sleep tight.
Well, yes, we've got orbs again, and possible scratches.
We just stood there working, and then we both kind of looked up, and the thing just shut. That's exactly like that.
Okay, a bit of an overreaction, maybe.
A bit.
When did you notice it was doing that?
I sat here and looked over and thought, it's moving.
So there was no one else in this area to room?
No.
But that was quite low down. Sign out. So yes, not a bad episode, but not a great episode. Like I said, I am not a lover of orbs in the slightest. Can easily be dust or anything like that, so no, I'm not keen on orbs. Unless, like, it came and, like, started out as an orb, then developed into a mist of a figure, then, yeah, I would love it. But yes, I still say Derek is a really good storyteller. He's getting some things right, but is someone leaking to him the information? I don't know. Please no hate in the chat, please. I will be moving this to Sunday at some point next year, but when it moves to Sunday, it will go twice monthly. The lives will come as well. I'm going to try and put the lives in the same kind of slot where they were, you know, like Halloween, Christmas, summer solstice, things like that. But it will obviously be an hour summer solstice. Not back then, so I've got no idea when it were back then. So if you're enjoying these episodes, could I please ask for a like, comment and subscribe, or the follow if you're on Daily Motion? I would gratefully appreciate it. Thank you to all those who have so far. I honestly love you to bits for doing so and giving me a chance. And to my Patreon members, it is you that is bringing the content to me to allow me to bring the content straight back to you. I thank each and every single one of you. I love you to bits. You all have a special place in my heart. And I really hope you're enjoying the exclusive shows you've got, or the early access, depending what tier you are. So I shall sign out and go to the next one. And I hope to see you there. Goodbye.